But I just got here, sir.
Not you, Artie. I lost some important Ace Hart artwork. Can't find it anywhere.
Then today is your lucky day.
It is?
Ta-da! The master detective is on the case.
What's with the getup, Artie?
Oh, it's my official Surelick Bones Master Detective kit, sir. Surelick Bones is my hero.
But I thought Ace Hart was your hero.
He is, but he doesn't have one of these cool detective kits.
Artie, Ace Hart doesn't need a kit. He goes by his instinct. He plays his hunches.
He'd need a kit to figure out who stole your artwork.
No one stole it, Artie. I just misplaced it somewhere.
A master detective can always sniff out crime. Excuse me, sir. Aha! Look, Dr. Mookie, a hare. Whoever stole your artwork is a mixed breed who hates bads and drools.
In other words, every dog in Dog City.
Precisely. As Surelick Bones says, everyone is a suspect.
Listen, Artie,
Hey, not now, Mr. Shag. Huh? The game is afoot.
But Ace Hart could teach Surelick Bones a thing or two, but... Hey, what a perfect idea for another Ace Hart adventure. Well, as we say in the art world, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Dog City, a town with a heart as cold as a husky's nose and as dirty as a dachshund's underbelly. But it wasn't as though we didn't have culture. We still appreciated art. Some of us more than others.
Read all about it! Bona Flisa, missing from Museum of Fine Art.
So, what do you say, Eddie? How long you think it's gonna take the cops to crack this case?
2 shakes of a dog's tail, Ace. They've called in Surelick Bones, Master Detective. He's my hero. 2 bits, please.
Yeah, well, what's he got that I ain't got?
A detective kit and 2 bits.
I see. All right, Eliot, park the brush and fill me in. This town's not big enough for 2 top dog detectives, and you know it.
Don't worry about Surelick Bones, Ace. Surelick's all flash and dazzle. You've got your instincts, your hunches, and a better-looking hat.
You said it, kid.
It's Surelick Bones, with a police escort and everything. He's gonna crack this case wide open.
Brace yourself for some disappointing headlines, kid. Now, if you ask me, this is art.
Ace Hart in an art museum?
I may be a hard-nosed detective, but I can still appreciate the finer things. And I was looking at one of Dog City's finest. Chief Inspector Rosie O'Gravy, all business on the outside, but inside, soft and warm as a newborn puppy.
So you know something about art?
Yeah, my father used to paint dog houses. Let me try your hunch. Surelick Bones, right?
And let me deduce from the spot on your tie that you are a self-styled private investigator with a low-end daily rate, a soft spot for wet-nosed news pups, and a hot spot for female chief of detectives. I am never wrong, Mr. Hart.
Oh, yeah? Well...
What do you know about hares, Mr. Hart?
Hairs? It didn't come from a Mexican hairless?
Comedy aside, Mr. Hart, I can deduce from this single hair that the art thief was of a mixed breed, hates baths, and drools.
I do not drool. I have been known to dribble and slabber, but I do not drool. Right, Bowser?
I don't know.
I'm telling you, kid, I didn't steal no artwork. Right, Bowser?
I don't know.
Aha! So you admit it.
Shag, are yous putting them up to this?
I didn't say anything.
Yous ought to be ashamed of yourself. Hey, Bowser, you coming with me or no?
I don't know. Whoa!
Artie, it wasn't very nice to accuse Bruno. You have no evidence that he...
Aha! At last, the evidence I've been looking for.
Artie, a tissue?
Yup, that's the very tissue used to wipe paw prints off the weapon.
What weapon?
Really, Mr. Shag, there's always a weapon.
You can tell that from this tissue?
Be careful with that.
What?
It's the only evidence we've got.
Evidence? This little... Achoo! Oh, sorry about that, Artie. There you go. Well, back to the old drawing board.
Surelick said he'd be a little late. He's examining the tissue he found at the scene for clues.
What's a tissue got to do with...
A missing painting, Mr. Hart? Nothing to anyone but a master detective like myself. Ahaha! As I suspected, a rubber plant.
Is that a wise...
As elegant as ever, Chief O'Gravy.
Why, thank you, Mr. Bones. What about the tissue, Surelick?
As I suspected, this very tissue was used to remove the paw prints from the weapon.
A weapon in an art heist?
I could bore you with an explanation, Mr. Hart, or you could bore me by explaining how you've managed to survive in the detective business for so long.
I roll with the punches, trust my hunches, and play it by gut instinct.
Whoa! Punches may be fine for boxers and hunches for bell ringers, but professional crime detection is an exact science. Ha ha ha! Perfect.
Okay, Surelick. Outside. It's time for your shots.
Ace!
Ah, come on, Eliot. This guy's been on me like a bad case of fleas.
Getting in a dogfight with Surelick proves nothing, Ace. Don't try to beat him up. Beat him at his own game.
Okay, Surelick. Shall we order?
A telephone call, Chief O'Gravy!
Chief O'Gravy barking. Speak. When? Be right there.
Let me guess. You're superintendent. You left the water running, right?
Wrong. The trouble's not at my apartment, Ace. It's at the Dog City Statutorium.
Ahaha! Someone stole the Tinkler.
Right again, Mr. Bones.
That was my second hunch.
First the Bona Fleecer, and now the Tinkler. All of the clues in this case point to the fact that the art thief will strike again tomorrow evening at the Museum of Modern Bark.
Talk about far-fetched. You can't possibly buy that dog and pony show. Who is that guy?
Sergeant Schnauzer, organize a full stakeout at the museum tomorrow night.
Okay, Master Detective. We'll just see who collars the crook tomorrow night.
That's the stuff, Ace. Beat Surelick to the punch.
Yeah, and I especially like the punch part. I'll just slip in the side and...
Ace, no, not the window.
There's the thief! Get him!
Great, Eliot!
I tried to warn you, Ace.
I think I lost him. Yep, you gotta get up pretty early in the morning to get the drop on old Ace Hart. Hi, fellas. You're up early. Oh.
Heel, boys, heel!
You really bungled it this time, Mr. Hart. Your none too subtle entrance obviously tipped off the felon.
You think you know it all, don't you, Surelick? Well, if you were so doggone smart, you'd have figured out who the thief was by now.
Ace, it's too soon. Don't force his hand.
Forget it, Eliot. It's put up or shut up time.
Have it your way.
Well,
My evidence is conclusive, indisputable, and irrefutable.
huh?
The art thief is none other than... Bugsy Vile. Case closed, Mr. Hart.
I was right. Dog City wasn't big enough for two top dog detectives. It looked like I was the odd dog out. By breakfast time the next day, it was all over the papers, like the egg all over my face.
Read all about it. Surelick Bones puts paw on Bugsy Vile.
And the worst part about it is,
Surelick Bones is my hero.
the words cut into me like a cheap choke chain.
Maybe you should get a detective kit like Surelick, Ace.
Nah, Eddie, it wouldn't work. It's not my style. But it was my fault. You were right, Eliot. I shouldn't have forced Surelick's paw. I jumped the gun and it went off in my face.
But the question now is, what are you gonna do about it, Ace?
What can I do? Surelick's got Bugsy dead to rights, an open and shut case.
Maybe you do need a detective kit.
All right. My instincts tell me this whole thing stinks big time.
So?
So, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I gotta find Bugsy Vile, and I gotta find him fast.
Attaboy, Ace. You're back on track. Just leave the rest to me.
I was blindfolded, but I had a pretty good idea who was strong-arming me.
Peekaboo, I see you.
Ahem! This is no time for games, Bruiser! Unless yous wish to play Fetch the Fist.
Well, if it isn't Bugsy Vile and all his nasty little habits.
Ooh, I can't stand it, dog father. The starch in these get-ups is driving me crazy.
Gotta hand it to you, Bugsy. No one would think of looking for you here.
It is not right, Hart, hiding like a dog what has done bad things on the carpet. Yes, I admit I have done bad things. Criminal, violent things! But each and every one of them totally senseless! I ask you, Hart, Bugsy Vile stealing valuable works of art? It's not even senseless. Senseless.
You hit me like a brick doghouse. There was nothing senseless about the art heists. Bugsy was innocent. If you think you're gonna hire me to prove Surelick Bones is full of kibble, you're barking up the wrong tree. Bugsy, I don't do business with gutter dogs like you. Lucky for you, Vile, I got a personal stake in this case. And I'm not talking T-bone.
If Bugsy Vile is innocent, as you propose, who then might the real felon be?
It could be someone we'd never suspect. Maybe even someone close to the case. Someone like...
Obviously, you haven't the slightest idea.
24 hours, Rosie. If I can't prove Bugsy didn't do it, I'll tip your boys to where he's hiding.
And if he commits another crime in that time, Mr. Hart, I will tie you in as an accomplice. Check.
I'll take my chances. Rosie?
24 hours.
Actually, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 52 seconds.
I had no idea what I was looking for or where I should be looking for it. My only hope was that Surelick had overlooked something. An accident? Or was someone trying to cut me out of the deal? I decided I might find the answer at the Dog City Statutarium. I know just how you feel, buddy. We both had our burdens to bear, and mine was getting heavier by the minute. Time was running out, and I was getting nowhere fast. Suddenly, I was getting there even faster. I'll bet this is the first time the ball fetched the dog.
Ace, you're not giving up, are you?
Listen, Eliot, this dog never gets rolled over and plays dead. But I got a big fat vacancy in the Clear Bugsy Vile Evidence Department, and my 24 hours are up. I gave Rosie my word I'd turn Bugsy in. And a promise is a promise.
Hello, police department? Yeah, I'd like to report a heist.
What are you doing?
Mr. Shag, Bruno stole your important artwork. I was just reporting him to the local authorities.
Listen, Artie, I want you to do me a favor, okay? I want you to pretend to be Ace Hart. Bend down.
Ace Hart?
Now, what would Ace think if all the evidence was stacked against one suspect?
Aw, that's easy, Mr. Shag. He'd figure it was a frame-up.
And then what would he do?
Trust his instincts? Play his hunches? Suspect the one suspect nobody else would suspect?
In other words?
You.
Me?
You did it, Mr. Shag.
Now, Artie.
You stole your
let's not
own
jump to-
artwork.
Of course! Of course! I did it!
You did?
Ta-da! And here it is, right where I put it so I wouldn't lose it.
You mean I solved the case?
And you didn't need that master detective kit either.
No, I really didn't, did I, sir?
You used your instincts and played your hunches just like...
Ace Hart, my hero.
Oh, Ace, I forgot. He still has a job to do.
Bow wow.
Huh? Gotcha!
The jig is up, Mr. Surelick Bones.
So, Mr. Hart, how did you finally put it together that I was actually stealing the artwork?
I went with my gut and did a little sniffing around. It seems that wherever there's been a major art theft over the past year, you've just happened to be in town to assist the police. Of course, you always solve the case brilliantly, pinning the crime on some local crook like Bugsy Vile.
I congratulate you, Mr. Hart. I didn't think you had it in you. But alas, you're not going to be around to tell anyone. Are you familiar with the painless but deadly poison the Pushas tribe of the Baka-Bow-Wow jungle derive from a tropical version of the dogwood plant?
No, but knocking me off still ain't gonna let you get away with pinning it all on Bugsy.
Ace turned Bugsy over to me 4 hours ago. You're finished, Surelick.
Ah, well. Goodbye, Mr. Hart.
Try to frame me, yous. Bugsy, look out!
Thank dog I asked for extra starch.
Eliot?
Tea, Surelick? I can't stand this stuff.
Sorry, can't stay.
Huh?
You really should get one of these, Mr. Hart.
Thanks, Bones, but I prefer my trench coat.
You're really beginning to get on my nerves, Mr. Hart. I guess you might say you've been framed.
Give it up, Surelick. It's all over.
Perhaps for you, Mr. Hart. As for me, Tata must run.
Eliot! Whew, talk about your close shaves.
Curse you, Ace Hart, and your gut instinct.
Nice going, Ace. You had it figured out right down to the last detail.
Yeah, well, there's just one thing that's still got me stumped. Who is that guy?
Him? Oh, that's Red. Red Herring. He's a part-timer helping me keep the files straight on this case.
I should have guessed. After all, every good mystery has its red herring. All in all, it hadn't been a bad day's work. Surelick had learned something about crime. I'd learned something about art. But most important, a certain wet-nosed news pup named Eddie had learned something too.
Phooey on phonies. Ace Hart is the best detective in the whole wide world. Extra, extra, read all about it. Ace Hart licks Surelick, #1 private eye dog buries bones.
Yep, Mr. Shag. Ace Hart did it again.
With a little help from you.
And Mr. Mookie.
And Mr. Mookie.
What's that, Mr. Mookie? That's a good one.
Well, what did he say?
I'll tell you later.
Oh.